All right, and we are back. So, Stefon Diggs, let's get the photo up. So, there we go. So, he has probably not been having the year that he expected to have with finding out that his team was going to the Super Bowl. Just had a baby with Cardi B. And then we come to find out in December, he also welcomed some other children in 2025 as well. But we've talked about that on other lives, so I'll link some other lives that we've discussed Stefon Diggs and Cardi B in. In this particular live here, it looked like this year was off to a great start. Him and Cardi B seemed really solid and stable. They just welcomed a child in November, I believe, of 2025, their son. I don't know if his name has been released, but I've heard people saying Brim, so it could potentially be the name of the baby, but I'm not 100% sure if that's the name or just a nickname that's being used. And so Cardi B had famously, she was real hype and excited, yelling, "We going to the Super Bowl," when they won the championship. Then we get to the Super Bowl, and she is asked, do you have any words of like inspiration or something to say to Stefon before the big game? And she goes, "Good luck," and kept it moving. And that's when everybody said, "Ooh, there might be trouble in paradise." So it looks like those two have unfollowed each other, and they may not be together. Since they share a child together, they're always going to be in each other's life in some form or fashion. So I don't know if it's over, or if they're just, having a moment right now between each other. They're not dealing with each other. Cardi B is probably focused on her Little Miss Drama tour, which kicked off, I want to say, in Las Vegas a couple nights ago. So I've seen a few things come out about the show. Overall, good energy. Overall, everybody's got some pretty nice stuff to say about her, and she's well liked. Cardi B is very popular. I don't see that changing, whether or not this relationship with Stefon goes back, because people like her. They like the energy. They like the kind of person that she is. They like the way she just pretty much says whatever she thinks, that unfiltered, and she puts her life out there. Good, bad, or ugly, she does put it out there, and a lot of people can relate. She's got a lot of situations that other people have going on too. You're just not famous to have it out there for the whole world to talk about and dissect. But sadly, Stefon is in court for potentially having a physical situation with his former personal chef. So it looks like not only did you lose the Super Bowl and potentially lost your girl, or one of them, now you're in court, and this is the chef, Mila Adams. And she had a statement that she released because Stefon went to court on Friday of last week, and he entered a not guilty plea. So now that the Super Bowl is over, he does need to go to court about these charges. I guess they were just delaying it for the Super Bowl, and now he has to go in. And we're going to talk about his not guilty plea here, and then we're going to go into her statement. This is reporting from TMZ. Stefon Diggs appeared in court on Friday for his arraignment over the alleged assault of his personal chef, with the NFL star pleading not guilty just days after the Patriots wideout played in a Super Bowl 60. Diggs, 32, along with his lawyers, was in front of the judge in Denham District Court for about a minute, with Stefon pleading not guilty to the charge he assaulted his chef in December 2025. After the hearing, Mitchell Schuster, part of Diggs' legal team, told reporters the allegations are false. Quote, "We are confident that after the facts and evidence are reviewed in this case, he will be completely exonerated," end quote. As we previously reported, Diggs' personal chef accused him of slapping her and attempting to choke her during a dispute over pay on December 2nd, 2025. The woman says Diggs went into her unlocked bedroom following a text exchange over money she believed he owed her, and that's when things really took a turn. According to her account, Diggs became angry, slapped her across the face, and then tried to choke her using the crook of his elbow around her neck, end quote. She reported the alleged incident to the police on December 16th. While she did not provide pictures of injury, she claimed redness on her upper neck. So the pretrial hearing is scheduled for April 1st. and he cannot have contact with the victim. And let's get into her statement here, because she did release a statement since he has gone to court. And I think this is the only time she's spoken out. I'm not familiar with her saying anything else about this case prior. And let's get into her statement. Mila Adams says, quote, "I am speaking now to address false information that has been shared publicly. I'm a professional chef with over 10 years of experience with working with public figures and in sports and in the sports industry. My reputation and integrity matter deeply to me. Claims that I engaged in settlement discussions are not true. I have never sought money nor engaged in settlement discussions to settle this matter. Statements suggesting otherwise are harmful and untrue. As a survivor of domestic violence, I take these matters extremely serious and would never make false allegations for personal gain or to damage someone's reputation. I did not seek public attention, reported this matter through the proper legal channels. This is an active criminal matter, and I will continue to respect the legal process. I will not engage in rumors, personal attacks, or respond to misinformation on social media, and I ask others to refrain from spreading false narratives. My focus is on healing my work and moving forward with integrity. I trust the legal process to address the facts, and I hope anyone following this matter will do the same." End quote. So it looks like she's saying, I'm not lying. Ultimately, a judge or jury, whichever ends up being responsible for determining who is telling the truth, will determine based on the evidence. And if it gets to that point, what people are willing to testify about what happened to determine who is guilty. Just think that this is probably a lesson about being more careful about the moves you make in your life and the way you respond to situations. And maybe this is a good time that Stefon should learn to have a business manager or a middleman who handles situations with employees so that things don't end up coming back to you like this. I don't know whether or not he did it. I'm not here to say he is guilty or not. I'll leave that for the court system. Just say you want to make sure you avoid being in any situations where things like this could potentially come up, because when you have money, you have a name, you are attached to a celebrity who has a name, who has status, who has a level of fame and supporters who are very diehard for them. You are going to have a just a higher level of eyes and intensity on you than you would have otherwise. So putting yourself in these kind of situations is just not a good look, and you got to make smarter moves. So, I mean, what a crazy start to the year for him. Hopefully the situation works out for everybody involved. And I know they said that Cardi B had come out at some point when this lawsuit had initially been announced, saying that the chef is lying and that the chef never mentioned anything to her about the situation happening. But I also couldn't see why the chef would tell you that as well, because they know you're connected to this person, so they probably wouldn't mention it, especially if they had intentions of making it a legal matter. But I hope she doesn't get swept up in this by even commenting on it or having some contact with the chef at all, because I'm sure she was just trying to do the right thing by her guy. But it's a legal matter, and sometimes you might get swept up in things you really don't belong in because it wasn't your situation to begin with. So I just hope all around Stefon don't have her getting into things she don't really need to be into. She's got 4 kids and a tour and a music career she's trying to keep alive and keep going. So wishing the best for everybody involved in whatever that may be. And I got Leah. Welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. What's your thoughts on this? What do you guys think about the situation with the chef and what's going on with Cardi B and Stefon Diggs? Let me know in the comments. And let's get